Hello, this is Hope Roski with Central Valley Talk Briggs on Books. And are we all in for a treat today? We have author Suzanne Mendy-Sambou, and she is here to talk to us about her latest book called Mankind. Welcome to the show, Suzanne.
Thank you for having me, Hope.
Oh, I am so glad you are here. Thinking about the way our society is kind of become in this, what I call a disconnect, it is sure nice to know that there's literature out there that brings people together. And, what I love about your book jacket is how you have the two hands reaching towards one another to show that connectivity of people coming together. How did you come up, or what made you focus on that particular writing style to bring people together?
Hope, this is actually a blend of discussions that I have with people and my own experience. I came up with that thinking of a message that I would like to share with the world. And I've thought of so many things, but at the end of the day, I say, I think a book is the best thing to do because that will reach so many people. So that's what actually drove me to write this book.
Well, depression today is what I think in some instances can tear people apart, as there are people that don't really understand what depression is about. And it's very important for people to be able to lean into one another to help. There needs to be a good understanding about what depression is about and how to move forward with it. How does your book basically discuss those things, the depression and the kind of coming out of it and getting back into, a better place?
So, in this book, I first of all share my own experience because I've been through depression, and I'll share also how we can overcome it. I share some tricks. Like myself, I love cooking. That can be cooking. Sometimes when I'm really down, I'll go ahead and just change my look and cut my hair or do something that I like doing. And it can be just trying to talk to somebody. That's the best way to overcome depression because the point is there is nothing we can do on our own. We need one another. Like I said, from the crib to the tomb, we need one another because when you come into this life, somebody welcomes you, right? With it,
Yes.
either it's your mom or somebody else. And when you're going, somebody will accompany you as well. And in between, as an employee, as a child, as parent, as siblings, as co-worker, whatever that is, we need one another. So for me, I said the best way to do it is first of all to reach out to people. That's the best way to avoid deep depression. When it starts, just watch out the signs like loneliness, lack of focus, lack of interest, all those. And then you can do something before it goes down deeper.
Right. And I think that's really important to recognize too, is how do you get out of it before it really starts to spiral? I mean, there are people who have dealt with depression, and the hardest thing is to get what they call unstuck from it and not let it absorb you and take you down an even deeper, darker path. So, some of the things that you had talked about, like, cooking and, maybe redoing your hair and the way you look, those are some things that are, for people, or going on a walk, something to get their mind off of what's bringing them down. I was once told, get a list of things. What is it that when you're starting to feel that way, take a look at that list. If you journal things when you're in a good place and a good mindset of things that you can do when you start falling into that area of depression, that can really help, bring one out of it. And the other piece of it too is just being able to understand, or another individual being able to understand how to help support you through it. What are some of the suggestions that you would give to people who may know somebody who's battling depression? What is their best way to help support that individual?
The best way to do it, Hope, is first of all to reach out. Try to understand what that person is going through. Because the thing is, sometimes you see somebody being awkward or doing something abnormal, something unusual. The first thing we do is just judgment without even knowing what's going on. So the best way to do it, instead of from far judging that people, kind of questioning what's going on, reach out. Approach that person and say, hey, I would like to help. What's going on? What can I do? How can I help you? And if that person is willing to open up, yes, together, let's try to find out what has changed recently. What is going on? Why is that person going down? And then together, if you can't,
And I,
just
and
at
that's so
least give
important.
some words of encouragement, some word of motivation. Smile, just lift up that person. That's the first thing to do. And then depending on the level of depression, that's when you're advised to go see a therapist, a psychiatrist, a psychologist. It depends on the level of, but the best thing to do and the first thing to do is reach out and offer some nice word, offer compassion, empathy, love, and kindness.
Right. And, one of the things, like I said, with the two hands that are reaching together in your book, what I like is it's reaching out. How can we come together in this world of disconnect? Because what we see is people who have these depressive type behaviors going to real extremes. And if it just was that one person that just could have reached out, or even helping them find the therapy they need to get better, that's all it takes, is just that leaning in and reaching out and helping someone. I think of Diana Ross, reach out and touch somebody's hand, make this world a better place if you can. This concept is really, we need to do more of that as a society, and your book really is bringing about that. Now, one of the things that I really like that you're doing is the wristband. Can you tell the viewers a little bit about, the wristband and your idea behind that, please?
Here they are. So if you read the message on this wristband, it says, be a remedy to yourself and to others. Hope, when you hear the word remedy, the first thing that comes into your mind is medical prescription, right?
Yes.
But it's not it. It's not only medical prescription. The first remedy is the communication we're having, this discussion. It's your smile. It's just a word of encouragement, seeing somebody that is going through a tough time, saying, hey, you're doing right. You're doing good. Keep going. It's going to be all right. So those are small things that can mean a lot to somebody's life. I just give you a small example that I went to a park and I saw a man struggling with her kids. And then at some point from far, I was watching her. So when he came near me, I said, should I talk to her? And I said, yeah, go ahead, do it. And I looked at her and I say, hi, how are you? She said, I'm doing good. I say, I just wanted to let you know that you're brave. You're a great mom. You're doing good. But that deep breath she took at that time told me that she needed to hear that. That's
Sure.
all we need. So this wristband actually is a reminder that we need to do something. We need to change this world, a better world. So it's a reminder that we have to do something. And then whenever you touch it, it reminds you, okay, every morning, how can I help today? What can I do to make this world better? And even if you don't want to wear it, it's okay. But just put it somewhere that you can see it every single day and remind yourself that you need to be a remedy. You need to make a difference. That's what this is
And
about.
it really doesn't take that much effort to do it. A
Mm,
smile is a lot less energy than putting on a frown. The
yes.
words of love and encouragement are a lot easier to release from the mouth than words of hate and disdain. So, these ideas and these concepts that you share are very real. And, we never know, even when we encounter people who seem very grumpy or grouchy, we don't know what they have been through. What did they experience? And if you could be that light in somebody's life, then that's a beautiful thing to do. Now, what's great is you have so many places where people can order the books, but if they order the book directly from you, they are going to get a signed copy, correct?
Yes. So each book that is sold from my website, I sign them. I sign each single book because for me, this signature means the connection in between the reader and me. And on top of that, everybody that gets a book from my website gets a free wristband.
That's wonderful. And your website is www.suzannemendy.com,
That's
correct? Okay.
correct. That's
Now
my website.
they can go on and they can order there. There are also other places they can order as well, which would be, I believe, Barnes and Noble, Amazon,
Yes,
correct?
it's everywhere. Barnes and
Everywhere.
Noble, Amazon,
But
Draft to Digital, everywhere. And the price is the same. Even on my website, it's the same, 99. But the difference is you feel the connection between you, reader, and me. And on top of that, you have the wristband.
and you get an authentic message with your autograph in there and the
Yes.
wristband. Is there anything
Yes.
you'd like to share in parting that you would like the viewers to know?
Uh, I just want people to know that we need to make a difference in our own life first and in other people's life. That's how this world will change because the rate of depression is so high to the point that if we don't do something, it will never change. Doing something means individually ask yourself, how can I make a difference? What can I do today to change the world? That's the message that I'm spreading right now. I'm sharing with everybody. If each and every one of us ask, what can I do? How can I help? I'm telling you, help. This world will change, and we'll see a decrease on the depression and anxiety rate in the whole world.
Well, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show, Suzanne. I really enjoyed our discussion, and I'm going to let the viewers know that we're going to keep the QR code up for a while. If they'd just like to click on that, we're going to keep that up there, and hopefully you're going to get some wonderful purchases coming in directly to you and get those sent out. And again, thank you for sharing your story and then taking that and bringing it into literature to help hopefully inspire other people to either get out of what they're feeling or to encourage others to make a difference in someone's life.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me, Hope. It's been a pleasure sharing this with you and the whole world.
Absolutely. Suzanne Mendy-Sambou, I thank you. And this is Hope Roski with Central Valley Talk, Briggs on Books.